Yo, what the fuck is up? Welcome back to Sunday Sesh. It's your boy Nate.
It's your boy Deej.
And we back, and today we got Juan Leon from Captivitas in the building. I mean, kind of in the building as much as we can be, you know what I'm saying?
How's it going, guys?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you guys?
You know,
Chilling,
same
big
shit,
chilling.
different day.
Just going with the flow?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Exactly.
staying locked up like everybody else.
Man, it's crazy times right now.
It really is, though. It really is. Well, let's just start straight into it for the people who don't really know you. Where are you from? What do you do? Just kind of like a basic overview.
Okay, so my name is Juan Leon, and I go, also known in social media like as Captivitas. A lot of people don't know how to pronounce that. It's a Latin word, and so they just call me Cap, a little short.
Mhm.
I live in Grover Beach. I was raised here. I was actually born in Mexico, but been here since I was like a year old.
Mhm.
Never moved out of the Central Coast. Actually, you know what? Let's backtrack. After high school, I went to Mexico to live there for a year to play soccer. I was trying out, playing semi-pro out there for about a year. Then came back, did the whole college thing. Went to Poly, graduated with a bachelor's degree in business, and that's kind of like what I do as my day job. And then on the side, I do film and photography.
That's dope. That's super dope. It
Yeah.
started out with pictures, or what did it start out with you to get into the whole
It's funny. It's
multimedia?
been back and forth. It all started with the GoPro about, I want to say 5 years ago. It was like when they were popping, and I bought one, and like we literally took a trip up the coast to Big Sur with a few friends, and I literally just basic recorded everything we did, then did like a little highlight reel with a song like EDM song in the background,
Mhm.
and then uploaded it to Facebook. And then like a lot of people liked it. I was like, oh shit. So, that just kind of got me to go out and explore new places. So like after that, like literally every day consisted of going out and like capturing the sunset. So, so after that, I think at that time, Slow Parks and Rec was having this thing where if you hiked up a peak and you took a picture, it was like a challenge. They would give you like a shirt. So there were 7 peaks you had to hike. And so I took it a step further and started doing like time lapses, videos. And at that time, Instagram only had like 15 seconds of video you could do, I think. So I was doing like all these crazy things. And then we completed the challenge. And after like a month or two, they hit me up and they're like, yo, we have a skateboarding competition and we want to pay you to film it. So it's like, oh, damn, like somebody's actually like wanting to pay me to do something I love. So then that's kind of where everything started. And I was like, oh, maybe there's something here that I can pursue.
That's pretty dope. Where was that at?
The skateboard competition?
Yeah.
So it was all over the Central Coast. So there's Santa Maria, Templeton, Paso, I believe, Grover Beach. It was
Who
like
put
all
that-
over the area.
Who put that on?
A Monster Skate, I believe.
Yeah, I remember those. It was
think
like
that's
all the amateur ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of my buddies did the local ones here, so that's cool that you were the photographer for that. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was dope. And then after that, it kind of like, well, when they hit me up, I literally only had a GoPro, and I was like, I can't like film with a GoPro. Like, there's no way I'm gonna get like quality footage. So I invested in an actual like I guess entry level DSLR, and then from there I just kind of got hooked on photography. And that's why, like, if you scroll down on my page, like you'll see like a bunch of landscape photography. And it was like a good 2-3 years of just like going out, taking pictures, meeting up with other photographers, traveling. I did like a 2-week road trip around Utah and Arizona, and it was strictly like just visiting national parks.
That's dope. So
Yeah.
how many different states have you been to with all the traveling you've done?
The states, like I really focused on what they call the Midwest. If it's Nevada, Utah, Arizona. So it was those 3 and there's literally like you do like a loop. So we started in and I'm sure you probably heard of it, Bryce Canyon, and
I think
we just
so.
kind of did a loop and ended up back in Vegas. And when I say we, it was myself. I'm married and I have a now 3-year-old son. So it's me, my wife, and then my 9-month-old at that time. So it was a pretty cool adventure.
That sounds super dope. And then like after that, like after you did the skate stuff, how did that like slowly turn into the music videos and the product filming and all that type of stuff?
So I had always, so I started with video, and then like I said, I got hooked into photography. I always kind of did or had video in the background, so I would always kind of just film random stuff here and there. uh, Slow Parks and Rec hired me to do a couple other videos. I don't know if you've seen the painted boxes they call like the utility, or kind of like by
Yeah,
the,
where the
yeah,
artists
by
do
the stops.
their little different drawings on it, right?
Yeah, so I did that 2 years in a row, which actually was pretty dope to see like all these talented local artists as well. And I did like a highlight video for them. And then from there on, the first exposure I had to music video was with James K. Shout
Mm.
out to James. He reached out, and this is a funny story too, because I heard of James K. I want to say circa 2013, 14. I went to see Shwazy at Slow Brew, and when I went in, he was the opener for Shwazy, and he was actually finishing his set. And I heard his music. I'm like, yo, like this guy's tight. So I didn't catch his name, but I remembered his lyrics. And then the next day, I went on Google and like found him, started listening to his music. And then like 3 years go by. At that time, I wasn't even doing photography. And 3 years go by, and I upload this random sunset picture, right? And he comments on it. He's like, "Yo, like dope colors" or something like that. And I was like, "Yo, like this is James K, the dude I was listening to at Shwazy." So I responded. It was one of those days, which happens to be the name of one of his old songs. And like he immediately like slid into my DM. He's like, "Yo, like that's crazy. Like you listen to my music. I was actually looking for a photographer. Blah blah blah. Like let's link up and work." And then it's just kind of like history from there. Like we've been working since.
Yeah, that's super dope. How long you said 2014?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's when he opened for Shwazy at the old Slow Brew.
You see, everybody has stories from that old slow brew place, and I never yet to, like, I've never been there, so I guess I'm too young for that shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, dude, that place was tight, bro. Like it had like the floor on top where it's more like chill, and the full on bar scene at the bottom. And like
That's
of
super
course,
dope.
like it had some iconic concerts. Mac Miller, ASAP Rocky, like crazy.
That's super dope.
Damn.
I wish we still had a
Yeah.
venue like that. I mean, we kind of do with the one in downtown Slow. What the fuck's that called again? The Fremont. We kind of do have that at the Fremont, but I don't know if
But
it's really
I
the
feel
same.
like it's different though. Like the vibe, like you could totally the old one, the brew is like you totally feel like that, like underground. Like you could get those artists, right before they blow up. Like
Hmm.
Mac Miller, like I saw him there, and then at Avila, and his performance at Slow Brew was like 100 times better.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I never got to see him live. I wish I did. I got that shit tatted on me though. The most
oh,
dope.
you do?
Yeah,
That's tight.
the
My
most dope
my
logo.
wife actually has a lyric right here. She has the "No matter where life takes me, find me with a smile."
Oh, that's dope.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That's super
yeah.
dope.
So, yeah,
Dude,
we're
so
big Mac Miller fans.
how did you get into the product video stuff? Because that thing you did with Passport was pretty sick. The Stay Safe hand sanitizer video.
So I've always done like commercial for like brands, and recently I've been working with a watch company as well. I
Hmm.
just don't post a lot of it on my social media. Like I strictly want to kind of keep a theme going. I don't know if you noticed there's some sort of theme to it. And of course, like my main thing is directing music videos, but I also enjoy doing like, I've done weddings, I've done, your regular like couple photo shoots, baby photo shoots, anything.
Hmm.
Like I could do all of it, but my main focus, like for about a year now, has just been directing music videos.
Have you ever seen that, like the other stuff, like the everyday type of clients, not necessarily get in the way because you want to get to those people too, but does it ever like get you to a point where you can't do a music video?
No, because I've been like, see it, and it all started last year. Um, I went out again with like the whole long haul team to Austin, Texas, to South by Southwest.
Oh yeah, I remember
Um,
seeing those videos.
yeah, and that was tight, man. It was such a like cool experience to see like how much music there is out there, how many talented artists are out there, and just to network with different kind of people. And then like I feel like that, and I don't know if you remember little sketch, the Juanita video.
Yeah,
I feel
with
like,
Roach Clip and Jarvis.
yeah, yeah. I feel like that kind of just like set me off, like in a way, and and like I came back and literally it was like weekend after weekend, like doing something. Like after we came back from Austin, Texas, I went again to Vegas with James K. He performed with Pauly D out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to film that, and then came back, went to Cancun, filmed the wedding out there, came back, and it was just like every other weekend I was in LA filming, meeting new people, and just really just grinding, man. And it was kind of this whole COVID-19. It was like a bittersweet for me because like I feel like I was building this momentum, right? Like I had like weekend after weekend. I had actually booked all of March, all of April, and like most of May already. So I had to cancel all of that. It was kind of like, damn, like, like it sucks to come to a complete stop. But then at the same time, it was kind of cool because this whole last year, I didn't spend a lot of time with my family, so it's kind of cool to just be home and just enjoy time with them.
Yeah, I see that. Did you have a reason for having to shut down, or were you forced to cancel everything?
Not really. I think my main reason is so, like I said, I have a 3-year-old, and then my wife is actually pregnant right now, so we're expecting another one.
Right.
And it's just like preventative measures, man. Like people are still hitting me up right now, like, yo, like let's go film, and it's as much as I want to do it, like I want to kind of wait it out a little longer, and
Mm-hmm.
and see, like I don't know where they have been, or I don't know how many people are going to be there, so it's kind of tough. I don't mind getting it if I were to get it, but exposing my family to it is just, I don't know. I don't think
Yeah, no, it definitely makes a
it's
hundred
worth it.
percent sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's this shit's so crazy, bro. Like, I don't know, it's getting to a point where it's like everybody needs to be safe to a degree, but then there's all this like overprotective shit. Like, did you see about how they're closing down beaches in Orange County or whatever?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, man, that's crazy. Well, see, the thing is, like, did you see how many people were in Orange County though? Like, that was crazy. I thought
No,
it
I
was
didn't
crazy
see.
here.
They're like stacked on
It's
each
like
other or what?
packed, dude. Yeah, it was packed. Like, I
No.
could see there, like, but here I don't think. I mean, you could definitely go out and do the whole social distancing thing, and I don't think it should be a problem. But I
Yeah,
mean, in bigger cities,
the
yeah.
sheriff said that he wasn't going to give anybody tickets for going out onto the beach and shit. Cuz it's like a
Oh, okay.
mental health thing, I guess. He doesn't want people to like go crazy, you know?
Yeah, and see, like I have been doing some stuff like you said, the product thing with Chris from Passport. So I have been doing little stuff, but not like big scale like production. Where I go out to LA, or have like a group of people. Just, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it at this point. And I actually work so much from January to March that I still have kind of work from then that I'm still editing. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
still keeping busy.
Yeah, I feel that. So you do your own graphic design too, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I do, like I said, like back in high school, I was all into computers, and when you're fucking into computers, you're like on the internet for hours,
Mhm.
just fucking reading shit, learning stuff. So I picked up Illustrator and Photoshop a few years back, and then just kind of, now that I started photography and now also editing video, like it's helped a lot.
That's dope.
So did
Yeah.
you? So spinning back to your name, so you have a logo as well. Where did that kind of develop from? Because
So when
the triangles are interesting to me. So where did that come from?
Yeah. So when I saw that I was kind of getting serious into the whole photography and film thing, I was like, I think my Instagram was Juan23. That's my Instagram name. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, one, that's not gonna be my Instagram, and then I don't want it to be like one photography or my last name and then photography at the end. I'm like, when I want to build a company or something, I want it to be more than just like a branding for my images. I want it to be bigger than that, right? So I started thinking, and then I found the word Captivita, or I think it was Captivitas. That's the full word, and it's Latin for capture, right? And
That's
I
fire.
think this was back in 2015. And if you go back to my Instagram page, I actually kept that kind of like as a reminder. And the first logo I did was three mountains, and it's kind of triangles. And I think it was like live, explore, capture. And then I started playing around more with it. and I started doing research on like little glyphs, and I found the triangles, which I actually have tatted right here. And so the first one is explore, the second one is create, and then transcend is the third triangle.
That's
That's right.
stupid fire. I didn't realize
And
that
it,
your name meant capture. That's dope.
yeah, so it's kind of like my mission statement in a way. You know, like create, of course, just be creative, explore. It all comes back from like me traveling and going out and chasing sunsets, and then transcend, like always learn and keep going.
Yeah, I feel that. So where do you pull inspiration from? Because me and you are like right here as far as like what we do from the things that you say. So what is your process for people who watch this and do this too?
As far, do you have anything specific or just like in general?
Let's just
Like,
talk with like when you go to shoot a video, what's your process like? Just getting the song, like how do you run through that
okay,
whole thing?
so usually, the artist reaches out, and then I tell him to send me the song, and then once he sends me the song, I immediately ask him, like, do you have already kind of like a vision for it? If he does, I kind of work with that. If not, I just, either or, if they do or they're not, I just listen to the song like literally like for a week straight at work. And I'm just working, and I have a notepad right next to me, and I'm just jotting down ideas. I always listen for keywords, and when there's a keyword or anything, like I make sure, like I want to, I don't know, for example, if he mentions something about like his kid or selling or something, like I want to make sure like I take a note of that and then put that into the treatment. So I create a Google Doc, and then I share it with the artist, and then I start creating. I literally go like from 0 to 10 seconds. This is what's going to happen from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. This shot, and I go down throughout, lyrics, everything for the whole song. So that's kind of like the process as far as that. And then as far as the creative process, um, it's just more like visualizing each shot and how you're going to capture it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many variables that go into each shot. A lot of people think it's literally just holding a camera and a stabilizer, but there's a lot more to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's frame rate, aperture, the time of the day you're shooting. Is it going to be indoors, outdoors, lighting? There's a lot, and lighting really, it makes the shot. Whether you like it or not, it's definitely the biggest thing.
That's the only reason why this shitty webcam looks like decent right now. You know what I'm saying? It's because
Yeah.
we have these two fat ass floodlights just chilling. So
Yeah,
I know
no, it's
exactly what you
lighting.
mean.
Lighting's everything, man. And I think a lot of people, like, even to make like a 30, like that Chris product thing, it was what, like 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It took us like over like 2-3 hours,
Just to
and
film it.
it was literally two shots, like two fluid shots,
Yeah,
and it took us forever to film it. But I
that's
mean,
crazy.
it goes, and then on top of that, like I think what really makes those type of videos, those product videos, are it's the sound design. And I'm sure you're really familiar with all this stuff, like the whole sound of the rolling bottle, and then the swoosh when he lifts the bottle up and takes off the cap, puts it
Yeah.
back. It's like, it really, if you take out those sounds, like it's a whole different video.
Yeah, I'm going to school for audio engineering, so I feel
It's
you.
dope.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
honestly, I think that's probably, it took the longest too to find. I actually ended up making the sounds myself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
dope.
I
What'd
couldn't
you
find
use?
any. Literally, what is it? Is it the Yeti mic that I have?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like your basic Yeti, and I literally was replicating the roll like over and over, then taking off the cap. So I literally just recorded it here in the room.
That's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
That's super dope. Was the like when you did the audio from the camera, was it usable or no? Like when you're doing it,
No,
because it's
no.
all a
There's always,
swishing, huh?
yeah, and so a lot of the times too, like you'll be able to hear the motors and the gimbal.
Oh,
Like, yeah. So a lot of the times when I'm using a stabilizer, that like the audio is not usable.
interesting. How do those
Yeah.
vloggers do that shit every day then? Like, because I know some of those like
So
exotic car dudes do like the run and like perfect stable footage, you know?
yeah, so they do. There is a pretty good mic, and it's like $250, $300. I just don't find the need to buy it myself, just because, like you said, I don't vlog.
Right.
And then a lot of my work, it's music videos, so I end up using the actual track. So
Right. Yeah, we just have
yeah,
some weird little like you know how there's the clip at the top of DSLRs that you screw things into for like
yeah,
shotgun mics and stuff?
the hot shoe, yeah.
Yeah, we have like this little like steel little bar that's legitimately just a handle that screws into that. That's what we use. It's kind of
Uh,
stable, but I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
It's what it
no,
is what it
definitely.
is, you know.
What's
Yeah.
some work that you've so all your work's probably great to you, but what's one of the like one or two music videos you had a lot of fun shooting and was like your favorite to shoot?
So I think there's two of them, and I'll tell you guys the reason why. First, my one of the favorite ones, the Juanita video for sketch, just because like what it did to my film career, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
Like I think that kind of got everybody like it turned heads, and it was like, oh, okay, like this guy can actually do solid work,
Mhm.
you know, like um and there was like, it's kind of my first video where there was kind of like a story, a theme. um like I said, I created this whole treatment for it. And sketch trusted the vision, and he was like, yo, like just tell me what you need, I'll make it happen, and then we're gonna go with your vision. And then when I saw the end product, and everybody was just like, everybody that saw it kept complimenting, and they're like, no, like that video is tight, like just the whole vibe, like
Yeah.
That's
you made
cool.
it come alive, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of them. And then the other one was Blame You by James K. Same thing. On that video, we both came up with the concept, but just the work that went behind that video that I don't think anybody knows. Like we literally filmed one day from like, I want to say 4 p.m. to like 4 or 5 in the morning.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
and it was
insane.
like we filmed outside um, at the beach, and then we went to Soft Spot Studios in
Mm.
Slow, and then we used their black room, and like we were in there till like 4 a.m. just like trying to get the perfect shot, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's super
that
dope.
I mean, but yeah, like you said, I love like all the each video that I've done, like brings back really cool memories. Like, you know, the whole process for every video is, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's probably cool to be unique for you because you're behind the camera too. So experiencing all that's pretty tight.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool because now that I've heard from other artists too, it's like they've worked with other videographers, and like they'll literally just film the video, and then they have to send it to somebody else to color grade it, somebody else to edit. So, and I actually do like everything, you know. So it's kind of cool to see it come alive from like the very first step of getting the song, creating the treatment, and then seeing the final product.
Right.
That's tight.
Do you go through
Yeah.
a couple different software programs to color grade and stuff? Like, what do you edit in for the most part?
So everything, I use Premiere Pro
Mm-hmm.
pretty much for everything. When it gets a little bit more intricate and you're trying to do a little bit crazier, I guess you could say, effects, I use After Effects. But
Okay.
I color grade everything, and you know, edit everything in Premiere Pro.
I've seen some dudes who use like some it's like isn't it like
Da
basically the
Vinci,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Is can't you do that like as a plugin though in Premiere Pro anyway? Or like as
I
presets
don't
maybe?
know. It's like a whole separate thing. And honestly, like I've actually been wanting to get into it. I think it's like a standard when you get to that, you know, top level.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just, maybe right now is the perfect time to do it. Actually, you know, it's I'm locked in, so I might as well learn something new.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people compliment me for the color grade that I do. So I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't
it
want
looks
to
great.
change something, you know, that's working already.
No,
So
100%. Do you when you do color grading, are you like using certain presets or are you going through each setting and stuff? Because I've tried to
yeah,
use presets,
so
but
yeah, so I actually, so what I do is, of course, always pay attention when you're actually shooting the stuff, right? So making sure your white balance is the same, or, you know, across everything you're shooting. And then once I import everything into Premiere Pro and start editing, I always designate a layer for like I guess a color grade for the whole project,
mm-hmm.
which is going to give it that mood, whether it's like warmer, cooler, you know, whatever type of vibe you're going for, it's gonna give it across the whole video. And then once that's set, I go through each clip, and now at this point it's called color correcting, making sure that each clip matches, you know, the whole project.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, like, if you shoot something and then it's like there's like an orange light, right, and then like the rest of the project is like super cool and blue, then like it's gonna look, the contrast is gonna be there, and you don't want that. You don't want people. My favorite thing about editing is making sure that people don't notice transitions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I prefer clean cuts than inserting like crazy effects, transitions. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's required, but for the most part, I like just a clean to the hit, to, you know, a snare, just always editing to the beat.
Yeah,
So
for sure. For sure.
and when you do that and you do it right, people don't even notice that it's a different shot.
Yeah,
You know?
I'll be telling him because we were doing a couple of car meets vlogs and stuff, and I was like trying to show him how to edit a little bit so we could get like a bunch of stuff done, and I was like being all picky about like where like the clips change and all this stuff, and he was like, "Why?" And so I
Yeah.
feel that.
Made sense at the
Yeah.
end of the edit.
It's crazy though, dude. It's a whole different world, bro. Because I grew up in the journalism. Because in high school I was the science and technology editor of our little journalism section. So I was heavy into like the whole InDesign and graphic design throughout high school.
Right.
And then as soon as I graduated, I started doing the music stuff, and then that slowly
Uh-huh.
graduated into like just every piece of content. So the video is like I've been at the last end for me though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think even with photography, man, like landscape photography from portrait photography is like a whole different spectrum.
Yes,
Like, you know,
100%.
like you need to have a certain type of lens. Lighting is different. Like it's a whole different thing. And same thing goes for the videography. Like if you do product versus a music video, it's a whole different world too.
Cameras matter too. Cameras matter a shit ton, dude.
They
You
do.
What do you
And
shoot
like,
on?
so right now I'm shooting with a Sony A7 III.
Okay.
And dude, I love that camera. Like for the price range, it's a beast. Like if anybody is taking that step from like, you know, like an entry level DSLR to like a more higher, you know, end camera, like I think that's a perfect spot. Like right now, I was like, I've been in a debate for like about a year in investing in a red, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, that's kind of like the grail, like camera, like I want a red. But I just don't know if there's like a market for it here in the Central Coast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't know if people are going to be willing to pay, you know, $1,500, $2,000 for a music video.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I give them the option, I'm like, okay, I could charge you this much to shoot with the red, or I could charge you, I don't know, for example, like $1,000 for a video and just shoot it with my Sony. And they
Mm-hmm.
compare the quality. They're going to be like, oh, I'll just take the $1,000 shoot, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm honestly like, I know I'll eventually get there, but I just think there's a timing for everything. It's just not it right now.
It's weird because like the step between like a T5i to the A7 III is like night and day as far as like low level shooting
Right.
or low light shooting and like different shit like that. Like, cause we can't even go and vlog at night without even having like a floodlight on top of the camera, you know?
Yeah. No,
So
yeah. And that's the coolest thing about the Sony, especially A7 III. The low light capability is crazy, man. Like you could shoot that ISO up, like I don't know, like I've done it up to like 6,000, I think. Always being careful, of course, but like I've done it at 6,000, and it's like you don't notice any loss of quality, any grain. It's really cool to be able to shoot and not have like an annoying light on top the whole time,
yeah,
like
dude,
blinding people.
that and it's bright as hell.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like
just
shoving
so
that in
bright.
somebody's face, it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, yes, especially when shooting in concerts, you know, like people are trying to experience the concert, the lighting and everything, and you come here with a bright ass light, it just
Yeah.
disrupts everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something, dude. Those cameras, if you put them up above 800 ISO, they're just grainy as fuck. Like there's no
Yeah.
going back.
Yeah, I had a, like I said, before my Sony, I was shooting with a Canon 70D. That was my first DSLR that I bought. And it was good for video and photography. But then I started noticing, like, when I was shooting concerts, and, it was just, or shooting at night, I couldn't take it above 3200, and I was
Yeah.
like, damn, like that sucks.
Yeah, it definitely like when we filmed the like cuz we went to Best Buy for like their little car meet and we bought a light while we were there. So there's like 3 or 4 clips where we didn't have it and it's just all grain if you watch that vlog and then like the rest of
Yeah.
it's all fine and you're like, "Oh, hopefully nobody
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
that."
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I mean, like going back to, I mean, lighting makes or breaks a shot.
mhm.
And that's one of the things, like I've been, this last year I was working like so much as far as like film and photography. So a lot of that money I was investing back into the film and photography, like buying a better lens, buying lighting. I actually have a big key light that I carry with me in all of my shoots.
Mhm.
And like, dude, like you can shoot at night. Like I've done shots at night where it's like pitch black and you just shoot that light and it's like perfect.
Yeah.
So and all that stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's the same with audio equipment. Like if you want the good stuff, like you have to pay a good chunk of price,
Yeah, you have
chunk of
no
money for it.
idea, dude. Plugins, cuz I for my audio engineering class now, everything's online. And so we have to do
Yeah.
like gear reviews every week on like different like hardware and software plugins. And some of the stuff I've been looking at, bro, it's like $1,200 for a piece of software that you download and it's like just
Yeah.
going like peace for
Yep.
just
I mean,
like
and same with photography and film. Like you have to pay a membership every month to use Premiere Pro, Photoshop, Illustrator. And
mhm.
then on top of that, I'm subscribed to this website. It's called Epidemic Sound, and that's where I get like my copyrighted music that I can actually use without getting. You can upload it to YouTube anywhere, and it
Yeah.
won't get taken down. I get
Mhm.
my audio sound effects from there as well. So like a lot of people don't take into consideration like how much you're actually spending in gear. It's not only time, but it's like the gear you're using, all these other subscriptions you have, and it's like, and then a lot of people like, damn, like for me, one of the things that really sucks and I don't like is that I feel like sometimes photography and film are not seen as a career, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, it's just a hobby, and it's like for me it's like it's crazy that I think if it wasn't for COVID-19, I think I was at a point where I was about to quit my day job and just go like full on film and photography. Right now I'm like lucky enough that I still have a job, but that's why I was like it's kind of like bittersweet, because I was like, man, that sucks. Like I felt like I've been working so hard to get to this point where I was just gonna go full time, and then it's just like boom, like back to square one.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, man. I'm sorry to hear that shit. That's
And now,
that,
and it's like I said, it's kind of cool too, because like literally last year and shout out to my wife, because she, I can't even imagine like always having to take care of the 3-year-old. He's running
mhm.
everywhere. He's lots of fun, but kids are a lot of work. And I was never here on weekends. I was always either traveling. If I wasn't traveling, if I was in town, I was out shooting. Like
Mhm.
literally, it was like weekend after weekend, weekend after weekend, and on top of that, working my office job like Monday through Friday. So, but it is what it is, and I'm trying to see the positive in this whole thing, and just enjoying that time and charging up my battery, so when it's over, it just like go full on again.
Yeah, I feel that. What do you do for your day job?
So I graduated with a bachelor's degree in business and a concentration in accounting. So I do like bookkeeping for a local ag company.
Oh, okay. That's
Sweet.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you guys affected at all by everything that's going on? My day job's
Nah,
kind of
I'm
is.
an essential worker.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, I feel it.
it's ag, so it has to keep going, and I'm lucky enough to actually still have a job, because otherwise, if film and photography was my main source of income, I don't know what I'd be doing right now.
Yeah, I feel that. So what's
Yeah.
next for Captivitas? Like, what do you have planned? Just more music videos? I mean, obviously you're kind of at a standstill right now, but
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely, man. Like I said, I'm thinking like maybe in a couple weeks or so. Like, of course, taking all the preventative measures. Like, I'll start shooting again. Like, I think James K and I have this song that we're day trip from his Coconut EP. I
mm-hmm.
think we're gonna film that soon. There's a few other artists hitting me up too, uh, and then on top of that, I really want to keep releasing. So one of my main things, like I said, when I created Captivitas, it was not only for film and photography. Like I wanted to do more than that, and I've always been like into fashion and stuff. So I've released 2 shirts already, and so I want to keep building on that apparel, line. And so releasing some clothing in fall. It's going to be like some crew necks and hats, and a sweater as well that I've been kind of like. It was supposed to be released already, but the main reason it didn't, it was like I got it done. I got like the mock-ups, and I wasn't like 100% convinced that I could like this is not it, and I'm not just gonna release anything,
Yeah.
knowing that if I'm more of a like I'll pay money. I'd rather pay money for like a sweater, like a good chunk of money that for a sweater that I know I'm gonna wear like over and over, rather than buying like I don't know like 2 sweaters for $50.
Yeah.
So my big thing is like I guess quality over quantity.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I've been working a lot on that, like designs. And shout out to Chris, he's been helping me out a lot, and just kind of like, like the whole building a brand and getting stuff done. Like I was all new to these things, and he's been helping me out a lot. So it's really cool to see how that whole process works.
Right.
Is it all going to be under Captivitas, or is it going to be a different clothing brand?
It is going to be under Captivitas. So I actually created a like, I was like, since I've had so much time on my hands lately, I've been thinking a lot about it. And so I actually went ahead and did a whole another page, and it's just CPTVTS, basically Captivitas without the vowels. And so I have it ready to go. And like I said, I've launched or I've already dropped 2 shirts. The first one was more like just kind of to test waters, and it was basically just the Captivitas logo here on the chest, and then the 3 triangles on the back. And then the second drop is actually this shirt, and it has a hit right here, and then the logo on the back. So right here it says seguidor, which is a word for follower in Spanish, and it has like a tape over it, like saying like I'm not a follower, right? And it's inspired by a song from Bad Bunny. I don't know if you guys listen to him.
Not like all the time,
And
but I know who he is.
yeah, so he has a song called 25 slash 8, almost like 24/7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole purpose of the song is like in order to achieve something, you have to be willing to put in even more hours than there is in a day, right? So more than 24/7. And it just like hit home, because like I said, it was a whole year of like nonstop, just grinding. So I'm like, it was like literally, it was just like I was listening to the song, and then I just jumped on the computer and I was like just like jotting down ideas, and I came up with the graphic.
That's
And I
dope.
dropped it, maybe like 2 weeks ago. And my goal is to always keep, as far as clothing, like just drop like a set number of pieces, and then once it sells out, it sells out. Like like I don't want to. The first round, I dropped, I think it was like 40 pieces, and it sold out, and then people were asking, and I went ahead and reprinted more.
Mm.
But this time I'm like, dude, I just want to keep it limited. Very similar to Lyrical Lemonade. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Like,
yeah.
so like, dude, they drop like stuff and it's gone like in seconds.
Yeah.
Like as far as clothing, it's like, and that's kind of like something I want to go that route, definitely.
That's a good move. A lot of these YouTubers do that shit too. Like the Nelk Boys, the full send shit, all their shit's
Yeah,
gone super fast.
yeah, and like I said, it's like a whole nother. Like right now, like I even tell my friends, I'm like, dude, when I drop like a shirt or a sweater, I don't want you guys to buy it because you guys want to support me. Like, it's not an outlet for you guys to support my film and photography. Like, because honestly, it's like not even making money at this point. You know, I think I'm losing more money than making from like creating all these shirts. And I'm like, I want you guys to buy it because you guys want to wear it. You know, it's
Yeah.
like if you guys go into Sumi's, like, yo, like that shirt's tight, I want to buy that shirt. You know, and that's what I want for it. I don't want people buying it because like, oh, he's my friend, I'm supporting him, like, so I'm gonna buy a shirt. Like, no, they
Yeah.
actually, yeah. So that's the whole thing behind that,
I
the
think it's
clothing.
cool. I think it's cool too because you can keep recreating something new every time. You don't have to be
Yeah,
stuck with the same deal and keep on, like you said, just reprinting it whenever it runs out. It's cool for you to have a blank canvas in a sense and start back over.
yeah, no, and like I said, I have so many ideas, and I think the coolest thing for me is like I have the outlet to do the marketing for it, right? So like if I do a shirt, like I can do the pictures, I can create a video for it, and that's what I plan on doing for every drop. Like for example, I have one that I'm thinking of doing in November. I have a niece who has type 1 diabetes, right? And it's so crazy when she's now, I would say 13. She was diagnosed when she was 6, and it was like I was very like myself and my wife, we were like super attached. We were always together. We would take her places, and then it was like life changing for the whole family when we found out that she was she had type 1 diabetes. So then I started doing photography and everything, and she was always kind of like my model. Like I would take her, and then we'd do pictures, blah blah blah. And I started doing like this little documentary of her when she was like 7 or 8, and then I started getting busy with actual work, so I kind of put that on halt, and I never finished it, right? And then I remember her; she was like 9 or 10, and she drew this picture, and she said never stop taking pictures, and it has like a little camera, and it's all like in an 8-year-old handwriting, right? So for November, it's diabetes month, so I want to create this shirt like off of that drawing that she did. I want to create this shirt and maybe release like a video for it.
That's dope.
That'd be sick.
That would be super
Yeah.
sick.
So it's like I want to do stuff like that. That it's not necessarily just like, oh, it's just the graphic here, like it's my logo, blah blah blah. Like I want it to have meaning.
That'll be super dope.
That's a cool
Yeah.
purpose behind it.
It'll
Yeah.
be cool. It'll be cool too because, like you were saying, you are self-sufficient. So like the overhead cost kind of cuts down like threefold whenever you can do video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the other thing too is like if I ever get to a point where like people actually start digging like the brand and the clothing line, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, okay, if I keep going this route where I'm doing music videos and I keep landing like bigger projects, like I can hand them out to artists, and literally that's what these people do, right? They create this product, and then like YouTubers, they give it to other bigger YouTubers, and then people see it on them and they're like, yo, like what's this? They'll go out and buy it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when I just start giving it to artists, using it in music videos, like be like, yo, like you down to wear it for like a scene or whatnot.
Yeah, I feel that. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
gonna call it Captivitas too, like it'll be a whole media type clothing company.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, going back to that, it's like that's one of my goals, like getting this clothing brand going. And then the other one, I think the biggest goal as far as Captivitas goes is like having a full production team.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, like I said, I do everything from like operating the camera to editing the video, color grading everything. So eventually I want to like literally just direct the music video. Like I want to be there just like looking at a screen, having a camera operator, having a focus puller, just the whole thing just going, a whole production team.
That'll be dope. Let me know if you need anything post. You already know who to hit
Yeah,
up.
no, yeah. No, it's really cool, man. Like that's another perk of working like in the whole music industry and just photography and in film in general. It's like meeting all these other talented people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I honestly, like before this, I was a very shy person, I guess you could say. And photography and film has put me in like a lot of different situations. It's allowed me to meet like a lot of people that otherwise I would have never met.
Mm-hmm.
So like, like meeting James K, meeting um, KO, it's opened a lot of possibilities for me, and it's really cool to connect. And then like now, like a lot of these people that I meet are like actually like really good friends, which is really good, cool too.
Yeah, I feel that. It's definitely been cool, like on my experience in the coast, because I just threw a random pool party like literally 2 years ago, and Lord
Uh-huh.
Sanctus pulled up, and ever since then I've just been thrown into this network of all these people. It's honestly super cool, like how many people are like so receptive to each other around here as far as like
Yeah,
our lane goes, you know?
yeah. Are you originally from here, the Central Coast?
Yeah, yeah, from Paso,
Okay,
born and raised in Paso.
cool.
So like
Yeah.
I grew up listening to Howfly like in middle school. Like
Okay.
I have different SoundCloud tracks that I've liked. Like Howfly did um he did a song to like a Pilo beat or something that was like one of the
Uh-huh.
first songs I've ever heard of him like from forever ago. And it was crazy how like organic that was too. Like kind of how you're saying with James K.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Like I actually, so we have kind of one video in the works right now with him, and then I did what was the other? Own two. I did that last year.
Oh
That
yeah.
was super. That was super dope too. Just like the way everything came together. It's crazy because I have like kind of like a funny story with that video. Um, it was literally shot in one day. So we started and with the actually 2 days. We started with the studio scene, and then from there, I don't know why, but we went to a sit down restaurant and we took like 2 hours to eat, and then we ended up going out to Beverly Hills to shoot like that mansion scene,
Mhm.
and then that's when Lord Sanctus pulled up and did his part, and then from there, James landed this cool rooftop in Venice. Like he knows a friend out there, and he allowed us to film. And I was like, yo, like that's crazy. Like it's like the perfect setting, right? And we were
Mhm.
supposed to be there for sunset. And like next thing you know, it's like, dude, it's like 4 o'clock and we're on the freeway and I could see the freaking sun going down like slowly. And
Yeah.
I was like, bro, and it's just, I mean, it's LA, there's traffic. I'm like, bro, like, and James was like trying to be like all optimistic. I'm like, bro, like, just get me there. We need to shoot now. So we get there and like, there was still like probably like 5 minutes of sunlight left. And then like, I don't know what happened. Like people weren't there. And like, I could just see the sun going down, like down. And I mean, I shoot before this, like I said, landscape photography. I know how fast the sun goes down. I'm like, literally we have like 2 minutes to shoot the scene,
Yeah.
and like one thing led to the next, and like the sun went down like eventually, and we were still not shooting. Luckily enough, I literally had one of those annoying lights that we were talking about, those
Mhm.
you just literally put on your camera,
Yeah.
and we ended up shooting with those. And there's a little bit of color in the background, but man, like if we would have caught the sunset at the right time there, like that scene would have been crazy.
Yeah, I
But
feel
that
that.
video came out pretty tight.
Yeah,
It really did.
all your recent videos have all been super dope, dude.
Thanks, man.
Like you can literally scroll on your Instagram and just see fire, fire, fire. You know.
Appreciate that. Thank you. It's like one of my main things is like I don't care if your budget is like $100 for the video or who the artist is, if you're just like coming up or whatnot. Like I'm gonna put like my thing is like I want to make the next video my best video. That's kind
Yeah.
of like, you know, and that kind of shows people like I'm always trying to learn new things and elevate, my videography to the next level.
Yeah, I feel that. Do you have any like tips for anybody who's like trying to be a videographer or like starting out their own brand?
I think just honestly, what really helped me is just like going out every day and shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be like something random. Like for me, it was sunsets at the time. Like I would go out, take pictures, and it's just trial and error. Like learning your camera, like the back of your hand, like that's another thing because when you're out shooting, you're going to be put up in certain situations where you need to change settings really fast, you know. But literally going out and shooting every day or as much as you can, basically.
For sure. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on with us, bro. I really appreciated this.
No, thank you guys for, you know, taking the time, and appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, sorry, was not like we'll have to do another one where it's in person when all this shit is
Yeah,
like a
after-
I
little
know.
toned down, you know.
After the
Yeah, no,
COVID.
definitely. I'm super down, and
You have
like
to come into the
hopefully,
man cave and see all the wall art and shit.
yeah, no, definitely, and man, hopefully we get to work too on the video too.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
we spoke back, you know, maybe like a year ago. It's just like I know you got busy, I got busy as well, and it was just kind of left there. But you know,
You have
definitely
no
looking forward
idea
to
what
it.
I have right now too. Like I have way better music than that song. Like that song, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go. No, that's dope. Like, you know, like yourself, like everybody. I guess that's what's really cool right now on the coast. Everybody's just pushing each other. You know, like it's almost like, I don't want to say a competition, you know, because it shouldn't be. It's just everybody should be kind of coming together and kind of, I guess you can say, putting the coast on the map. But it's really cool to see everybody like drops a video and then somebody else comes, you know, like FG Thriller just dropped like this crazy video like a week ago, you know?
Yeah.
Oh shit. But yeah, it's really cool to see that, to see all these artists kind of pushing each other to create content and just put the coast on the map.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks again, bro. I really appreciate this. This has been Nate Sunday Sesh. It's your boy Nate.
It's your boy Deej.
And we out.